How to get 21 days in a week. This is my favorite video of this type of content creator. Okay? All right, Griftonomics from Tom Nicholas.
6 months ago, I was sat.
Let's do a react to an issue that is near and dear to my heart. Why scams are everywhere online. From what I understand, Tom Nichols is also a bit of a lefty himself. We've watched some of his videos in the past. Very good oibra, and I will do that now.
In this living room, lost in the endless, comforting embrace of TikToks for youth. I hadn't had the app very long at this point, and its algorithm was still trying to figure me out. It had tried immersing me in book talk videos, in clips of rich white guys crying on podcasts, and in endless footage of Taylor Swift concerts.
Oh, you got nailed, son.
That last one wasn't so bad. But this particular afternoon, the algorithm decided that what I really needed to see was a steady stream of AI content. In fact, it must have been December 2022. Because following the release of DALL-E, Midjourney and Stable Diffusion in the spring and summer of that year, OpenAI had just unveiled its ChatGPT tool. And it...
I want to show you guys something even worse. Weeby, fucking hive mind, dude. Before we get into this scam side of Grift Talk and whatever, yes, link me that fucking insane AI crime page. Holy fuck, we have to watch that real quick. We have to fucking watch that real quick. Dude, that shit is so fucking unhinged, and it's probably red pilling like every 12-year-old on the planet right now that has access to TikTok. They're probably sitting there fucking scrolling through, watching it over and over and over again.
I am the youngest murderer in history. My name is Carl, and I grew up in a small town in Kentucky, USA.
Yup. It's this one. Yup. Okay, while this plays, I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Yo, this is fucking wild.
In 1929, I was 8 years old, and I was friends with a little girl named Cecile Van Hoos. We often spent our days looking for scrap metal to sell to earn a little money. One day, while we were arguing over a piece of scrap metal, Cecile chopped it out of my hands and hit me in the face with it. I was angry and in pain. I went home, but I was boiling with rage. I climbed up on a chair, grabbed my dad's shotgun and ran back to Cecile's house with the gun. When I got there, I said, "Now I'm going to kill you," and shot her. All for a piece of scrap metal. Just a piece of scrap metal. In court, I explained why I did it, but I couldn't believe that I really killed my friend. After I testified, I slept through most of the rest of the trial. Eventually, I was sentenced to 15 years in prison. My parents managed to post bail of only $500, so I was able to get out of jail before my sentence was up.
We're in the motherfucking thick of it, dude. That one is unhinged. That's why I'm saying Oppenheimer was maybe a positive note to ending. You know what I mean? I see shit like this, I'm like, oh, dude, nukes don't scare me. I welcome it, dude. I fucking welcome it, dog. TikTok has ruined everything. Yeah, I see like fucking full-scale, mutually assured destruction, nuclear winter as a positive at this point. Anyway. Just wanted to show you how fucking unhinged shit got on the racial side, on racial talk.
It was lighting up conversation across.
Now let's look at the grift side of it.
Opinion was pretty split. Some saw an innovation on the scale of the Gutenberg press or spinner. Others questioned the ethics of training these tools on the work of artists and writers who hadn't agreed to their ideas being used as training. While some fantasized about whole professions being made obsolete, others mocked Mid-Journey's then inability to draw hands, or ChatGPT's tendency to just outright lie.
Fuck.
On TikTok, or at least my TikTok, however,
Yeah,
there
we're
was
fucked.
little to say. Users were hyped, and there was a particular use case that they had in mind for these tools.
There's an effortless way to use AI.
Bitch, I didn't lie about gaming. I just gamed anyway. The fuck do you mean my streamer lied about gaming? I mean, it's a funny meme, but also it's fake. I never lie about gaming. I game all the fucking time. I'm a gamer. I'm also a top of the hour ad break deliverer. Who's streaming ad break now?
To make over $10,000 a month.
This may be the best way to make money with AI.
These 3 AI apps should be illegal, and if you use them correctly, you can make a lot of money.
ChatGPT doesn't really help you make money online, so there's 4 tools.
God damn it.
My first response was to very consciously try and swipe these videos away as quickly as possible in an effort to teach TikTok's algorithm that I wasn't actually all that interested in using AI to write computer-generated posts for my slightly shady, keyword-stuffed, affiliate-link-infested health foods blog. This strategy had worked pretty well for stemming the flow of podcast views. But these over-enthusiastic financial freedom seekers had managed to plant it in my brain. In the days, weeks, and months since, my online feeds have continued to be peppered with posts boasting about how these new AI tools can be used to make a quick buck. Perhaps the weirdest part of this trend came when I opened up Notion, the task management app that we use to keep track of our various projects. When Notion began rolling out its Notion AI feature in February 2023, one feature jumped out at me. It was the option to highlight a piece of text and select Make Long. Now, I've tried long and hard to think of a genuine, productive use case for such a function, and I just can't. No piece of text, whether it be a novel, a news report, or a corporate evaluation, has ever been made better by being gratuitously padded out to increase the word count. There's a reason that writers are instructed to kill
It's called brevity.
your darlings, not force your darlings to multiply until a single pithy sentence has become an unwieldy mass of adverbs and adjectives. Brevity is the soul of wit. Long-windedness is the soul of online recipes which are trying to cram in as many keywords for search engine optimization as possible before just telling you how to make the damn lasagna. Taken together, it was hard not to find all of this a bit depressing. There are obviously plenty of ethical questions to be asked about how these AI tools are both trained and implemented. Nevertheless,
Shit.
one has to admit
Oh, he's almost dead.
they're pretty impressive.
I'm dead.
There may be plenty of flaws to be ironed out, but the fact that I can just ask ChatGPT to write a scene from a stage play in which Albert Einstein argues with Bugs Bunny about who should get the kids after their divorce that's pretty cool, right? It was kind of depressing then, that faced with this new technology, with all kinds of possibilities for making people's lives easier and better, so much discursive space was being taken up by people for whom the real excitement lay in how it could be used to further automate their low-effort online risks. Since noticing this, I haven't been able to stop thinking about the extent to which we increasingly seem to be surrounded by grifts. I reckon a good third of the ads that I get on YouTube are pitches for money-making schemes which sound a little too good to be believed.
Good shit.
There have been weeks when I've seen this woman more than members of my actual family. Neither is it a surprise anymore when a friend brings up dropshipping or foreign exchange trading or some other questionable investment. At the same time, there's been a big upswing in anti-grifter content. Whether it's Mike Winnett or Dan Olson or
True.
Mooncat or Coffeezilla, scam busting has become its own genre.
The only positive aspect of the insane amount of grifters is that there's a lot of great content creators that have popped up from it. Lots of
We
friends of the
love
show.
to hear the juicy details of whatever scheme is currently fleecing the easily fooled. Whether we're among those actually getting caught up in these schemes, or whether we're simply watching on voyeuristically from the sidelines, then grifts, grifters, and grifting seem to have taken over. They are the zeitgeist. And so, I want to explore how it is that these low-rent, often cringe-inducing grifts gain such a stranglehold over us. We are going to look a little bit at how some of these schemes work, but I'm mostly interested in why. What is it that's currently causing so many people to get caught out by the preponderance of so-called passive income gurus? And what is it that draws the rest of us in to watch? Because while most of these schemes and these swindlers which promote them might initially appear pretty small-time and marginal, I think they're actually pretty revealing about the world in which we live. It's certainly the case that you can learn.
It's capitalism. I don't know what he's gonna say, but it's capitalism. It's existed for a very long time, and the reason why we feel like it's existing in like it's like becoming rapid fire is capitalism. I think that the reason why there's more people on the hook for it is because people are very stupid, but also capitalism. Capitalism makes it so that you feel like you need to have a get-rich-quick scheme in many instances. And these guys are basically offering that to you on a fucking silver platter. They're like, come on, I got you. You want to be rich. You want to be rich, right? Come on, I got you. This is the easiest way to do it. Snake oil peddling is such an old concept that snake oil salesman immediately helps you understand exactly what I'm talking about, except nobody fucking sells snake oil any longer. But they used to. They used to do that. That's how old it is.
A lot about a historical moment from the heroes it raises up. The biographies of figures like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg certainly tell us a great deal about the social and economic system which has produced them. But one thing I've become convinced of during the 4 months or so that I've been working on this project is that you can learn even more about an era through examining its grifts.
There's an effortless way to use AI to make over $10,000 a month.
How I make $1,000 a day selling on Etsy.
ChatGPT doesn't really help you make money online.
This is how I plan to make
I'm going to show you how to make
Here are the 4 best passive income ideas.
Start making a passive.
These three AI
friends.
favorite these three AI
Oh my lord.
I'm mad. And I'm thankful.
In order to contextualize the rise of the online
And I'm
grift,
horny.
we first need to talk for a brief moment about the NBC sitcom The Office, which will make sense shortly, I promise. See, The Office premiered in the spring of 2005, which, in hindsight, was an interesting time to launch a show so explicitly focused on our relationship with work. As some of you might remember, that relationship was about to change significantly.
Lehman Brothers is going bankrupt, and financial markets from Asia to Europe are doing their utmost to prevent Monday from turning from dark to black.
But before we get to all of that, The Office. The Office exists in a tradition of comedies inspired by situations which, in the hands of a different writing team, might be framed as deeply tragic. Viewed through the eyes of the show's audience surrogate, Jim, the Scranton branch of Dunder Mifflin, is a kind of hell. It's not just that he's surrounded by some deeply strange colleagues, but that, on top of this, the work itself is kind of dystopian. When he's not getting involved in some classic comedy hijinks, Jim's job is to sell paper.
My job is to speak to clients on the phone about quantities and type of copy or paper. You know, whether we can supply it to them, whether they can pay for it, and I'm boring myself just talking about this.
It's not that businesses don't need paper. They do. And they have to buy it from somewhere. But paper is paper.
Now, you can't go to
And Dunder Mifflin doesn't even manufacture the paper it sells. They're just middlemen. If Jim and Pam and Michael and Dwight were to vanish from the face of the earth, their customers would barely even notice. They'd find a new supplier within minutes, and the world would keep on turning. Which, if you're Jim, has to be kind of depressing.
Right now, this is just a job. If I advance any higher in this company, then this would be my career. And, well, if this were my career, I'd have to throw myself in front of a train.
This kind of anxiety, that one might find oneself trapped in an unfulfilling and maybe even objectively pointless white-collar job, was pretty widespread in the mid to late 2000s. It was best summed up a few years later by the anthropologist David Graeber in an article titled On the Phenomenon of Bullshit Jobs. Graeber wrote that it's as if someone were out there making up pointless jobs just for the sake of keeping us all working. Like Jim Halpert, many white-collar workers viewed their stable, reasonably well-compensated office jobs through the same lens that others would view a life sentence. It's against this backdrop that in 2007, the businessman, blogger, and future podcaster Tim Ferriss released this book, The 4-Hour Work Week. The 4-Hour Work Week didn't invent the online grift whole cloth. As Ferriss acknowledges, the book is essentially a collection of money-making tips which had already been floating around in the so-called blogosphere. But it was instrumental in bringing mainstream attention to a new set of approaches to using the internet to get filthy rich, or at least try to. The 4-Hour Work Week is pitched as a method for escaping the 9 to 5. And in this way, it responds to many of the same cultural anxieties about work as The Office. In Tim Ferriss's eyes, there are few fates worse than being a, quote, 3-piece zombie, or a high-paid coffee fetcher. In fact, as Ferriss sees it, it's not just bureaucratic, white-collar work which sucks. He writes that, for most people, somewhere between 6 and 7 billion of them, the perfect job is the one that takes the least time. The vast majority of people will never find a job that can be an unending source of fulfillment. Luckily, Ferriss has a way out of this hellscape of cubicles
Good
and
shit.
coffee sheets. Tim Ferriss's promise in the 4-Hour Work Week is, as the title would suggest, that he can help you whittle your working week down from the usual 40 hours to just 4. At the same time, he suggests he can help you increase your income from, well, whatever it is now, to $40,000 plus per month. Or maybe $60,000 per month, or maybe $5,000 an hour. The exact figures seem to change from chapter to chapter, but the point is that you're gonna be rich. What's his plan for achieving this goal? Well, I don't think it would be doing the book.
He's not defending Tim Ferriss, chat. He's not. He is fucking, there's no shot that he would defend Tim Ferriss. I think he's gonna Tim Ferriss is just a grifter as everybody else, except he used to, back in the day, you used to have to like make a book or something, or start a cult. Now, you could just like say you're a podcaster, not even have a real podcast, put it on fucking TikTok and let it ride.
Justice, if I didn't summarize things with the appropriate level of bravado and obnoxiousness. So, without further ado, let me explain. Hi, my name's Tom Nichols, writer, video creator, entrepreneur. Welcome to my no-nonsense guide to Tim Ferriss's guide to escaping the 9 to 5. Jobbing is free! Step 1. Let's kick things off by boosting your productivity. See, Tim Ferriss reckons that a solid 50...
My favorite example of this is the guy who looks like a fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle got hit in the face with a shovel until it had like serious irreparable crevices on his face, talking about how he sleeps for fucking 1 hour a night or something, and then he's just like, yeah, a lot of guys they're sleeping for fucking a lot of people sleep for 8 hours. I don't sleep. My day is actually in 6-hour increments. No, not David Goggins, not Jocko Willink. I need to find it. I think Bradley, let me see. I'll find it on Instagram right off of Brad Trammell's Insta. No, he didn't say 1 day, 2 days. He said 1 day, 6 days or something. Like the guy who said, "Oh, your 1 day is my 6 days." Brad Trammell's been talking about scammers online for a while now. Wait.
Become a trillionaire. This person on the planet right now is around $200 billion, and 5 people competing in that space. They're the top 100 billionaires currently in the world, range from 9 billion up to 200-ish. I am 43 years old, and I have this crazy health routine, anti-aging, everything with modern medicine. If you study the...
This is not the guy, but I wanted to see it.
Yo,
And you don't pay the debt. I have a go home.
What if I put... Stop, take it.
What's up, everybody? So
Sell me this pencil.
Oh, yeah, so much of this, dude. It's fucking awful. Hold up, let me see if I can find it. He's been posting a lot about these boys and girls, so I think I can find it maybe here.
Unethical ways to make money, part 12.
A cheat code to getting... My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy.
How to get 21 days in a week. This is my favorite video of this type of content creator, okay? Brad Trammell is brilliant. I can't recommend him enough. This is what he does all the time. Okay, this is his thing. He just like analyzes fascinating concepts.
They're a little ahead.
Online.
I think we're good.
And he's very good at it.
You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago. My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is I have changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm gonna kick your butt. Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than it would have been otherwise. My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm...
Well, good thing he looks so healthy. He looks so fucking healthy, dude. He looks like he doesn't sleep at all, which is good. That's a good look to have. My man is making it seem like he's manipulating time.
Being rich in this day and age is living on the West Coast. If you live on the West Coast, the stock market opens at 6:30 a.m.
This one's really good too.
This gives you plenty of time to make a quick
Oh,
and
shit.
be ready for your 9 to 5.
God damn it, that was dumb.
When you do this, you will accumulate so much money that you don't even know what to do with it. And then before you know it, you're retired at the age of 30. A cheat code to get...
Nice.
This is satire, right? Just living the West Coast? Man, no. This ain't satire. These guys are real, dude. They're really fucking insane. They're real. They're
Unethical
real.
ways to make money, part 12.
I think this guy is just joking, but he's pretty funny. Anyway, average matrix hacker, baby. That's how it works. This is what the wonderful, bountiful internet has delivered us. Okay, new ways. Absolutely new and unique ways that are not so new or unique.
What the
really,
fuck?
Of scamming people.
I get headbutted? Yeah.
80% of your daily tasks are a complete
Beautiful.
waste of time.
God
That's
damn
almost
it.
Unbelievable, right? Well, his solution is simple. Just don't do them. Non-urgent emails from colleagues? Don't answer them. Clients with small orders? No thank you. Disciplinary meetings about your dismissive attitude? No merci. Congratulations. You just freed up at least half your time. And it was as simple as just not doing stuff. Step 2. Next up, you're going to convince your boss to let you work from home. This is probably going to be a whole bunch easier
Oh, we're
since
good.
Rona swept through town, am I right? But our goal in working from home isn't just to avoid novel zoonotic diseases.
Thank you, Nimbus.
You're going to leverage your newfound productivity to finish your day job in half the time it used to take. And guess what? We're going to use the rest of that time to embark on some new money-making ventures. Incroyable! Sure, the HR department might call this something
God
boring
damn it.
like gross misconduct.
I know
or
2
a breach of
roadblocks.
your contract,
Wasn't
but Tim
enough.
Ferriss prefers to call it liberation.
No fun allowed.
It sounds so much cooler. Step 3. It's time to start your very own business. But not just any business. You're going to focus in on creating a niche, product-based, direct-to-consumer sales business. Think Casper mattresses, or Allbirds, or Huel, the human fuel. The nicher, the better. How about a range of pasta sauces marketed specifically at dog walkers? Or letterboxes, just for snowboarders? Actually, not those
I wonder what's gonna replace
All
the
you've got to do
Savage
is
Gauntlet
set up
at
a
8
website,
p.m.
sell your new
When's
product,
it coming?
place a few ads
10
on
minutes?
Google and in niche hobbyist magazines, and wait for the sales to come rolling in, which they definitely will, because you're a bloody legend to whom only good things happen. Step 4. Now get this for a stroke of genius. With a few neat tricks, you're going to completely automate your new business, transform it into a magical money-making machine.
The answer is drop shipping. It's always drop shipping.
Magnifique. You're going to use a specialist manufacturer who's able to make each order on demand and ship it direct to your customers. And when it comes to those mind-numbing admin tasks, boring. You're going to hire a bunch of cheap virtual assistants in the global south, which is all fine, and there is no ethical questions to be asked about at all. Please don't ask any ethical questions.
This is why I like him. Because, I mean, come on, dude. British guy cares about, or even acknowledges the fucking global south's existence. Come on.
Assuming nothing goes wrong, which, why would it? You've now got yourself a completely automated business, which only takes minimal levels of effort to maintain. Voila! Step 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Congratulations! You're now a super successful businessman. Or like, person, I guess. It's time to wave goodbye to that boring old day job. Au revoir! Oh, and now you're gonna move to Asia. Why, you ask? Well, yeah, this bit might seem a little random, but look, even if you follow the 4-hour workweek plan down to the letter, your business is only gonna rake in a measly $480,000 a year. Or, if we adjust for inflation since the book was published, a paltry, $877,000 a year. Which, what are you, some kind of street urchin? You deserve the rock star lifestyle, my friend. And that means moving to a low-income country where favorable exchange rates will allow you to live like a king. Although Ferris actually suggests that we should avoid all countries in Africa, the Middle East, or Central and South America, excepting Costa Rica and Argentina. So I guess you better start learning Thai. If you manage to conquer these 5 steps, and the many dozens of sub-steps, then congratulations! You are now a member of the New Rich. See you on the beach, because the beers are on you. How interessante? As you've probably already gathered, Tim Ferriss's tendency is to present his money-making model as entirely foolproof. There is little acknowledgement anywhere within the book that any part of his multi-stage plan could ever go wrong. Even if it does, he has a pretty blasé attitude to the potential consequences. In the section where he encourages readers to negotiate a remote working contract with their employer, he writes that, if you jump ship or get fired, it isn't hard to eliminate most expenses temporarily and live on savings for a brief period. From renting out your home to refinancing or selling it, there are options. There are always options. At which point I have to remind you that this book was published in 2007.
Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate.
As with any business, there are, of course, all kinds of ways in which this plan might fail. But the biggest gap in Ferriss's scheme is also the most important thing for a product-based business to get right. You see, Ferriss has the tendency to get lost in the weeds of some fairly unimportant parts of his plan, which...
I think give me something special. What do we got?
This is a book which goes into minute
Show me something
detail
good.
about how and when you should check your emails. It gives you scripted suggestions for how to convince your boss to let you work from home. It even finds space for a series of confidence-building challenges, one of which involves randomly lying face down in the middle of the street to, I don't know, learn how to assert dominance or something.
I'm sorry. Here's another method. You're thinking of For Honor, aren't you? Yes, I am. I have been thinking about it nonstop. Fuck you. Shut up. Here's another method. Do the Gary Vaynerchuk method, where you imagine your fucking loved ones being horrifically assassinated by a squadron of shinobi. With the shinobi also have katanas, but the katanas are laced with cancer. It's cancer katanas. So not only are they being brutally assassinated, their innards are like their outwards now. They're outside.
Look at my asshole. Look at my nuts.
They also now have cancer, and the cancer is spreading to their families.
They're not interested.
And then you wake up out of that trance and you realize they're alive.
Use my nail cream for nothing.
And that's how you can be grateful. Yeah. Another really good one. Another good way to motivate yourself.
But for a book which presents itself as an all-encompassing method for leveraging a product-based business to get filthy rich, there is precious little advice on how to conceive of the product itself.
Oh shit, he's dead.
The few ideas Ferriss does suggest are absolutely terrible. One is that you
What are you doing on there?
the existing product
Get out of
and
there.
put your own label on it, similar to what supermarkets do with own brand cereal. But this not only means entering a market
The
which
fuck are
probably
you
has a
doing, man?
considerable amount of competition, it likely also means sacrificing a huge chunk of your potential profit.
Gotta show it. I mean,
Good shit.
Who in your family picked
yo, I edited this video crazy. Wait, really? The Griftonomics video, chatter? Or the Gary Vee one?
every day? Make in like literally once a day. Genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and make pretend one of them got shot in the face.
Yeah.
You think I was joking? He literally said that. But Gary Vee actually said that. Wait, let's run that back.
Every day, make
Nothing. Nice.
like literally once a day. Genuinely sit there for 5 minutes and make pretend
Nice.
one of them got shot in the face. I'm being dead serious with you. Every single day, I actually sit and truly try to convince myself one of them got shot in the face. That is the biggest thing I do that leads to the biggest happiness I have.
So, that's how you do it, baby.
To the license. Ferris's other suggestion
That's how we came up with the fucking NFTs, the Gary Vee NFTs.
is that you write a book. But don't worry if you don't really have any useful knowledge to share with the world. You can always, quote, create the content yourself, often via paraphrasing and combining points from several books on a topic. Or if that seems too hard for you, you can simply repurpose
Get an
content
ass shot.
that is in the public domain and not subject to
I feel like that
copyright
should do extra damage. I'm
So,
shooting right in his
essentially
asshole.
selling PDFs of Moby Dick.
Right in his lizard
summary,
pussy.
The 4-hour work week might be, as its blurb suggests, a step-by-step guide to living the life of your dreams. But given that the most important step is to simply, found HelloFresh, none of it's particularly
Beautiful.
cheap. At risk of
Just
sounding
at
like
the
a
wall
McKinsey
too.
consultant or something, if you want to make nearly $900,000 a year in profit, having a half-decent product is probably kind of important. This all might seem like a terrible oversight, but to Tim Ferriss, not caring about the product you're selling is kind of the point. In probably the worst paragraph of a deeply terrible book, Tim Ferriss asks, can a business be used to change the world, like The Body Shop or Patagonia? Yes, but that isn't our goal. Our goal is simple, to create an automated vehicle for generating cash without consuming time. That's it. And this is the legacy of the 4-hour work week. Reading the book in 2023, it was interesting to note how many different online subcultures Ferriss inspired. Every productivity guru you see on YouTube, every minimalism evangelist,
Good shit,
every
Cray.
van life lover or digital nomad owes at least something to Tim Ferriss.
They don't even know that, though. That's the best part.
Or his tail.
Because none of those motherfuckers read books, or they read one book, and that book probably isn't Tim Ferriss's book, because every other book is exactly the same. The how-to, self-help, life-hacking guru genre is so devastatingly banal and trite and repetitive. It's always the same nonsense. It blows my mind how people still buy new ones over and over again. And then people always turn around and say, wow, Hassan, how dare you? What if they're helpful, like Jordan Peterson, or Andrew Tate, or Tim Ferriss, or Tim Robinson? And it's like, okay, man, if it's helpful for you, then that's great. Okay, it's awesome. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that helped you. But like, the reality is that didn't help you, stupid. You helped you, okay? You did. You did that. They just basically repeated the same, like the most usable and best advice that you get from these books is super basic life lessons.
Raptors. What else do we have?
Get from any kind of.
Gotta kill 30 of the orange guys.
Okay?
Or where are they? Here.
It's just
oh,
like
these guys.
Ultimately, it's how you apply that. I hate that it's always like the biggest grifters that are the ones that are able to penetrate to like dumb guys. They're very good at speaking to the dumb guy frequency. You know what I mean? And of course, they have a lot of experience in the dumb guy frequency, so they don't just turn around and let it sit there. You know, help me, help you. Then they turn around and make money off of it. Always.
But it's this idea that one can build a completely hands-off, automated business that simply deposits cash into your bank account at the end of the month that has had the most impact. It would be entirely fair to describe Ferris's plan as a get-rich-quick scheme, but it would be more accurate to describe it as a get-rich-easy scheme. The emphasis is far less on the speed with which this model will guide you to wealth than it is on the lack of effort you'll have to put in. Ferris refers to this as developing income autopilot, or management-free money. The phrase that's really taken off, however, is passive income.
Yeah, which is like, I love this. It's like, hey guys, just like the 401k has opened up a new realm of possibilities of exploitation and ruining pension plans and whatnot, but also a new realm of possibilities. You have an ownership stake in the stock market. With passive income, you too can feel like a CEO. Every man a capital owner. Someone's got to still generate the fucking goodies and the treats that you're drop shipping. Fuck it, those are overseas. Who gives a shit?
In the 15 years since Ferris released the 4-hour work week, the dream of building so-called passive income streams is one which has spread far and wide. For those who seek what enthusiasts call financial freedom, there are a whole range of different schemes available and thousands upon thousands of self-appointed gurus willing to teach you how. Before we take a look at how some of these schemes function, however, we first need to acknowledge the event. On the 15th of September 2008, the New York-based investment bank Lehman
Alright, pretty good, pretty good.
After 150 years of continuous operation, a series of high-risk gambles in the subprime mortgage market had failed spectacularly and left it fatally short of cash. With several other major global banks experiencing similar crises during the course of that year, things looked bleak. The complete collapse of the global financial system was only held off through unprecedented government action, with the US, the UK, and the European Union effectively nationalising huge chunks of their banking sectors. Watching that now infamous footage of
the US nationalizing its banking.
Lehman Brothers employees being unceremoniously deposed from their towering glass palace in Times Square, it might initially have been tempting to revel in the schadenfreude. Investment bankers don't exactly tend to attract much sympathy. Nevertheless, as the global economy plunged into recession, job losses and layoffs became a reality across industries and sectors. According to...
Brother, it's at 125 speed. Why are you asking here? I put it at 1.5 now.
The International Monetary Fund, the financial crisis pushed around 30 million people out of their jobs. The unemployment rate in the US peaked at 10%. And while the recession itself was officially declared over in the US in June 2009, it took until 2017 for unemployment rates to dip back to pre-crash levels. As important as the sheer number of jobs, however, is how the crash affected the types of jobs on offer. If we stay focused on America for a moment, we find that around 60% of jobs lost during the Great Recession were mid-wage positions, paying between $13 and $22 an hour. These were real estate agents, office managers, and higher-skilled tradespeople. When firms started hiring again, the majority of new posts on offer were both less well remunerated and less secure. These were jobs in retail, catering, and care. There was a whole universe of work which kind of just didn't exist anymore.
Every time the American economy collapses in and of itself and everyone's like, what the fuck? I can't believe this happened. It always goes back to the same K-shaped recovery. Doesn't matter if it's COVID. It doesn't matter if it's a 2008 housing market crash. Our recovery revolves around helping those at the tippy top of society and basically doing it at the cost of having any kind of middle class whatsoever. We eviscerate the middle class. Someone's got to still serve the wealthiest among us. So that's it. That's how it works. We always recover in that way. Called K-shaped recovery, just like with COVID. Bail out the capital owners, bail out the bankers.
Been a little crazy here.
People that lost their homes and whatnot, that were sharked by predatory lenders, end up getting absolutely eviscerated, dumpster.
For many, even having a job was no longer enough. With real-term wages falling year on year, some took on additional work in the burgeoning gig economy. Others put their skills to work by embarking on so-called side hustles.
Good shit.
These dire economic circumstances also opened the door to the further popularization of the online grift. Some clarification might be useful here, because we tend to use the terms grift and grifter pretty loosely. Some use them to describe full-on fraudsters such as Bernie Madoff and Sam Bankman-Fried. Others throw the term at contrarian and conspiracist political commentators who seem to court controversy in order to shift dubious brain pills.
No, that was terrible.
None of these are wrong, obviously. I'm not the word police. But for today's purposes, I'm interested in a particular kind of grift. Because blowhards and con artists are fairly eternal. The difference between 19th century snake oil salesman Clark Stanley and Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes is primarily one of aesthetics.
No, Nimbus, we need her.
Popularizing the idea that it might be possible to create an almost completely automated source of income, Tim Ferriss planted the seed for a new kind of grift, which was much more of our time. The 4-hour work week itself hasn't aged particularly well, and I don't mean it's deeply sexist or anything. Although,
Shit.
there's some bits. Ask for the phone numbers of at least 2 attractive members of the opposite
Good
sex.
shit,
on each
good
show.
shit.
Girls, this means you're in the game as well, and it doesn't matter if you're over 50. With its strong emphasis on telephone sales and earnest recommendations of tools like Skype, it's just clearly written for a different era. Luckily for those seeking to make their fortune, however, countless new schemes have popped up in its wake, which similarly promise to set you up with a reliable source of passive income. And again, I don't think I'd really be doing them justice if I didn't introduce them with the appropriate level of enthusiasm. Waha! Guess who's back? The name's Tom Nicholas, writer, video creator, verified hustler. A little birdie tells me that you've been looking for more ways to make money online. And boy, oh boy, do I have some ideas for you.
God damn it.
In this, my non-exhaustive list of online grift money-making opportunities. Strategy 1, dropshipping. Dropshipping is the classic passive income stream. It allows you to sell real physical products to real physical customers without any of the hassle of ordering, storing, or shipping those products yourself. Ooh la la! Here's how it works.
Like, I don't pre-watch these videos, but I pre-watch these videos. You know what I'm saying? I pre-watched reality.
Step 1. Get yourself over to a budget online marketplace like AliExpress. Have a little stroll around and find yourself a red-hot product. Something you reckon will just fly out the window, given half the chance. I've got my eye on this cute little duck necklace. It's fun. It's cute. It also happens to only be 49p. But step 2. Next up, you're going to want to create an online store, showcasing this super cheap bit of produce. You want to crack out all the persuasive writing and design skills you can muster to make your product irresistible.
Nimbus, Nimbus, why did you leave me? Why?
Of like love.
We're making it through together.
And evolution. Like eggs and stuff.
But I did kind of leave her behind.
Step 3. This is where the fun begins. See, you don't want the risk of having
Ah,
to
well.
buy and store a bunch of these cheap
I want to change Deadeye's ability
to
anyway.
deal with shipping them to the plebs who buy. So you're going to set things up on the back end so that when anyone purchases anything from your website, it simply forwards their order onto AliExpress, who will take care of all that nonsense for you. Cheers, Ali. You're my best friend. Be sure to charge a handsome markup for all this hard work. I think we could call this 20 quid, don't you? I certainly do, Tom. I certainly do. Strategy 2, affiliate marketing. This one's another classic online money-making model. And all it requires is that you have the ability to spit out paragraphs and paragraphs of engaging prose. Step 1, create a blog. You want this blog to focus on reviewing and otherwise discussing products, preferably medium to high-ticket items such as barbecues, gas-powered barbecues. Because who doesn't love a good grill session, am I right? Make sure to write all of your posts with search engine optimization in mind. We're talking how-to articles. We're talking listicles. We're talking product comparisons. Sign up to an affiliate marketing. An affiliate marketing program is a scheme in which an online store will give you a set of custom links to products on the site. If anyone purchases a product after following your link, then you'll get a sweet little kickback of sometimes up to 20%. Personally, I choose to become an affiliate of the world's biggest retailer, Amazon. Cheers, Jeff! Nice stuff! Litter your blog with those magical affiliate links. Any mention of a product should be a link.
Give me a good
Picture of product,
skin.
also an affiliate. Keep going until as many words as possible are that beautiful hyperlink
Nice.
balloon. Drive those conversions, you bloody legend! Now all you gotta do is sit back and wait for some loser to stumble upon your blog, click through to Amazon and buy one of these things.
Yay.
You can stop, drop, and...
Like an infomercial that never ends. A lot of you are, here's the thing, you watch this and you probably think like this is a little bit reductive only because I talk about this so much. That's it. If you're watching this for the first time ever and you're completely oblivious to drop shipping and all of these scams, then this is a fully fleshed out narrative. That's it. It's a really good video It's just that because it is so in the pocket of like what I talk about on a daily basis, some of the concepts I basically have described to you a million times over, that in a way you're like, okay, well it might be a little.
All right, so what's the Savage Gauntlet?
Many of you
Check
were in
Twitter.
here for the first time ever finding out about what fucking dropshipping is. You know what I
Start
mean?
rolling in those flame grilled.
It's not reductive at all. That's literally how it's done. No, I know. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. It's not. The only reason why you consider this to be like, you know, long is because it's not convoluted. He's describing this to an audience that doesn't know what it is. He's covering all the bases.
Strategy 3.
It's like a folding ideas video, or a knowing better video. Like, these guys will get from point A to point Z and hit every single fucking aspect of it.
3. Retail arbitrage. Arbitrage. Despite its fancy pants name, this one's so simple that even I understand it. Yes! Although unfortunately, it is going to involve going outside. Boo! Step 1. Roll on down to your local out-of-town shopping centre or discount store. Get your little peepers out and browse the aisles for any products which are on sale or which look like they might be a little underpriced. This was down to just 150 quid.
Thank God Gary brought this back, though. King. With yard sales.
Step 2. Once you've got a little dealio in your sights, you're going to want to pull out your phone and download the Amazon Seller app.
Surely some people must be making money from this, though. No. There are very few people that actually end up making money, like turning a profit, okay? Money making is turning a profit. A lot of these people, unironically, will dump a lot of money or a lot of time and a lot of like human capital or investment into it, and then end up making absolutely nothing. Either because Amazon ruins them and they're in a constant state of panic trying to like stay above the algo, so then they end up giving money to Amazon so they can stay above board with their ads and their placements. It's quite literally the same as anything else. All matter of these sorts of scams end up giving money to a bigger guy who's been there before you. And I'm not even just talking about multi-level marketing schemes. If you have found yourself in a drop shipping structure, you most likely are the product. You are the one who's being farmed. You're not going to be able to farm this to other people. You are the one who like either paid for a course or paid for advertising dollars, so you ended up giving your money to Google or Amazon. You are in some instances like spending time and effort making a website or things of that nature. It's always the same. And a lot of people lose a lot of money. This is like a multiple billion-dollar business at this point.
You can use this app to scan the barcode of the product in front of you, and in return, it'll tell you how much that item is currently selling for on Amazon. If the Amazon price is higher than the store price, then congratulations! Looks like you've managed to find yourself a cheeky bit of profit, my friend. I'm so proud of you! Get loading up that trolley with as many units as it will handle. I got
buys from drop shipping, same motherfuckers who buy from Amazon. Yeah, like Amazon. Dude, when you go to Amazon.com and you put in like, I don't know, dog poop bags, okay? You get like 1,000 fucking dog poop bags. And half of them are like Shawwang dog poop facility. You know what I mean? And it's like, where the fuck are all of these? Like, they're all the same brand. Guess what? Almost all of them are coming from the same fucking factory. Okay? They just slap on a different sticker onto it. Or in many instances, they don't even do that. Okay? And just put it up there. And ironically, they spend a lot of money to have it up there because they're competing with like the exact same product that someone else is selling without trying to market it differently at all. Please help me. I work in the dog poop bag factory. Send help. I know a dude who took a drop shipping course, bought 2,000 Apple Watch chargers and only sold 5. Yeah, you probably, without even realizing, have already been duped by this. Or not duped necessarily, but you bought a product from a drop shipper, not realizing that you bought it from a drop shipper. Okay? Yeah, 100%. That's like how it goes. That's how it goes. That's always how it goes. Motherfuckers are selling random pointless shit to each other, trying to make money, Lamau. Like your treadmill? Exactly, which is precisely the reason why I told you guys don't rely on what I was purchasing, because I don't know what it is. I just bought the first thing that looked at me funny, okay? That's it. That's it. That's how it works. I don't have time to do research, so what am I going to do? I'm not going to, like, do research. I have enough money to not care to do research. You might not, which is why you should do your research and, you know, not get duped by the fucking dropshipping bullshit. Did the treadmill break? No, it hasn't.
28 of these things in my living room. Step 3. Sign up as an Amazon seller and register for their Fulfilled by Amazon service. This lets you send your haul to Amazon, who will store it for you and then ship it to whoever buys it. And all for just a tiny fee. Thanks again, Jeff. Strategy fun. If all else fails, why not become an expert? What are those scare quotes doing? Can we get rid of those, please? The internet thrives on content. The more words that are spaffed into this thing, the better. And there is sweet, sweet money to be made being a content spaffer. Step 1. Pick yourself a topic to be an expert in. Try and think of something that people aren't just interested in, but desperate to know about. How to be productive. How to be YouTube famous. How to get rich. How to get laid.
It's talking about copywriters.
Step 2. If you already know how to get laid or whatever, then you are good to go. But if maybe you don't, then that doesn't matter either. Tap up your old friend, Professor Google. Read a few blogs, watch a few videos, and congratulations! You've just got yourself a PhD from the University of Internet. Step 3. It's time to start cooking up some content. Blogs, YouTube videos, obnoxious Twitter threads, non-exhaustive lists. It's all good. And if you ever get a little stuck, just have a look at...
Oh my god, it just reminded me how fucking shit Twitter is, dude. I see this so much. Socialism expert at KegW, yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm drop shipping you fucking $5 subscription. It's so funny to think that some random guy would have discovered some genius, easy money-making scheme on literally the biggest website for selling shit on the planet. It's so shitty. All of it is so shitty. Also, I have to leave. So I'm gonna end it here, unfortunately for all of you, because I gotta fly out later and I still haven't packed my bags.
Slower than the enemy team. Initiating dinosaur cull mission. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summoning raptors.
Yeah, it's utilitarianism. We're never getting this. So I looked very quickly at the Vanguard's live chat. They said, I'll be the one to say it bravely. I'm not saying Vosh is racist, but he does tend to have a lot of racist AF moments and tendencies, often. Did I contact the Vanguard guys through Discord before, or was it through Zoom? It was Zoom, wasn't it? So I couldn't just, like, message them. Yeah, then there's not really a way for me to directly contact them. Even their chat is subscriber only.
No, you don't always have to vote for the lesser of two evils. Same with Marianne Williamson, obviously, by the way. So no, you don't always have to vote for the lesser of two evils, and we can demand better options. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand this bullshit defeatism from Vosh, which is, again, especially ironic considering that he's accusing us of being the defeatists, because we don't have to want to swallow the pill that is voting for Joe Biden.
Perfect thing. Again, it's just not defeatism. It's literally how the system works. The Green Party is not going to win the presidency. Voting for Cornel West when you could be voting for Joe Biden is a risk because there is no benefit in voting for Cornel West, and there is a benefit in voting for Joe Biden.
Summon raptors. Summoning pachycephalosauruses.
Thanks.
Dinosaur call. You are completing objectives slower than the enemy team. Follow the Watcher. Proceed to next mission. Initiating dinosaur call mission. I need that. Preparing combat area. Please wait. Summoning raptors. Summoning sniper neosaurs. Summoning raptors.
Refraining from voting for Joe Biden if you already live in a safe red or blue state is exactly how Republicans win and shift the demographic tendencies of those states. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. Thing to show up. You know, that's not how it works. And it's never going to work that way. It's not going to work that way in a socialist government. It's not going to work that way in a communist society. It's never going to work that way. It doesn't work that way. People just want to make everything an expression of their personal moral virtue. It's a symptom of like the narcissistic political engagement of the times, you know?
Oh, well, you host a YouTube show where you talk to nobody for hours about politics, and you want to tell me about narcissistic political engagement?
Wait, I talked to chat. Wait, I've got chat with me. I've got my little pog champs in chat.
And to be fair to Vosh, like, I can kind of understand what he's saying here, and to an extent, I share his frustration, but only when it comes to the people that refuse to vote for any Democrat ever. Like, if you're one of those people that won't even vote for Bernie or Marianne Williamson just because they're running as Democrats, and you think you're so pure that even though you agree with someone on 90% of the issues, and they're clearly better than the incumbent alternative, you know, by every imaginable metric, but you're still like, I'm too pure. And because I've been listening to Jimmy Dore for the last 5 years, I just don't think I can, you know, vote for any Democrat, even if they're actually a literal progressive. You know, that I do find annoying, and I do think that is, you know, narcissistic, and I do think that's kind of just like, you know, doing politics as this like performative, you know, look how pure I am, look, you know, how virtuous I am. But again, that's when we're talking about candidates that aren't even actually evil, people like Bernie Sanders and Marianne Williamson that actually represent a progressive future, that actually support progressive policies. When you're just talking about ghouls like Joe Biden, then no, I think that's ridiculous to say.
Identity as just that, an identity, and not a reflection of something greater. So they'll think like, oh, well, okay, maybe I'll acknowledge it's better for Joe Biden to win than for Trump to win, but like that doesn't really speak to me. That's not me. I'm not a Biden voter. That's not who I am. That's not that's not what represents me, you know? I'm a Cornell West voter. Well, I don't give a shit what you are. I give a shit what the outcome of these elections are. And you're not going to get good outcomes if you throw your votes away. Even in states that are already decidedly red. It's just, there's no point. Third parties are just not a thing. They're not real. They're fake. Don't listen to them.
LOL. This is such good advice. This is such hopeful advice for the future. I'm actually feeling really inspired and motivated to participate in politics right now. Thank you.
Okay, I know that this is a joke, but like, if your participation in politics hinges on me delusionally selling you the idea that third parties are a viable way out of the party duopoly, then you're basically saying you don't care about what happens and you don't care about reality. You care about a narrative where you get to feel like a special hero for beating back the tide of the normies and their political engagement. I don't, like, it's always this like, well, defeatism, that defeatism, that. I don't care whether or not my narrative is understood as a hopeful or defeatist one. What I care about is the path to victory. And as long as we're on that path, I'm going to be happy about it. When we stray from that path, I'm going to be unhappy about it. I don't care how dirty that path is.
I don't remember if the blade paralyzes big dinos. Probably doesn't.
DNC shill. If the outcome of this entire messy process is more power for us, for socialists, or for the working class, or for progressives, or whatever else, to victory, then that's what I care about. You know, if that means being patient for a while, if that means understanding my relative weakness and lying in wait, then fine. I don't care. I don't think it's defeatist, you know? Again, we must learn as ever from our mentally simple opposition, the Nazi, who have had an outstanding effect on the right-wing politics in this country for decades, but they never succeed when they're out and about with it, right? Well, maybe now they are, but historically they've had to be a little bit more clever. Certainly after the Civil Rights Movement, the anti-black contingent of America's right wing has needed to rely a little bit more on euphemism. But the paths they took were for their benefit. It wasn't, say, complacency or defeatism for the racist white man in America to start using euphemisms rather than screaming the N-word. It was their path to victory. A horrid path, to be sure, from our ethical perspective, but we can't deny that it was more effective for them to start coding their language and screaming racial slurs. But if we had just thrown our arms up, you know, well, this is all defeatism. We should just vote third party, all of us, and scream the N-word. Well, nothing gets done that way.
Vosh, this has been uplifting, and you know what? Shame on those pessimistic people who think that you have other options besides two corporate candidates. That's for the birds. You're right. This is America. Go back to another country if you don't like that. Love it or leave it, pal.
Well, I want first past the post to be changed, so I'm not suggesting love it or leave it. I'm not happy with the fact that it's a two-party duopoly, but it is one.
Right. And again, people have been following your advice for years, Bosch. Oh, just keep voting blue. Eventually, we'll banish the fascists for good, right?
I don't say that. I just say it's better than the red winning. That's it. It's not complicated. By the way, remember when the red won in 2016? Then we got 3 Republican Supreme Court justices, and now all the fabric and everything institutional about this country, even the legislative boundaries that protected people, are being eroded rapidly. That's cool. That's so great. I love that. You know, it's almost like the process of building up a bulwark against fascism isn't a super cool and rewarding one where you get to feel like a hero and you vanquish the fascists with a single fell vote. It's almost like the process of protecting your society against fascism is multifaceted, and that making sure the non-fascist candidates win is just the, to be clear, bare minimum that I should not even have to ask you to do. Is the most basic protection, and that protection eroded for one presidency. We got 3 Republican Supreme Court justices, and now everything's up on the table. It doesn't fix the problem, it just gives us time.
If we just vote blue enough times, then the fascists will go away and never come back. Yeah.
True.
Right. More people voted for Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump in 2016. Did that get rid of the fascists? No.
Oh my, wow, it's incredible. The Electoral College is bad? Really? Again, it's just no engagement. They can't. conceive of this as anything other than like a child's battle against evil. Like there's no political strategizing, broader consideration.
Oh, Donald Trump still won, thanks to the Electoral College.
But if only Jill Stein actually hadn't run.
Oh, I forgot to use my jump vault. Increase the damage.
Right. So yeah, the people followed Vosh's advice in 2016. We got
great stunning.
What? How? What? If more people had followed my advice, first of all, I wasn't
great
even
freeze.
a streamer back in 2016.
Hit him
Second of all,
twice,
if
didn't
more
work.
people had followed my advice, Hillary would have won. What? Wait, what is that? Wait, the strategy of voting for Hillary Clinton is what cost Hillary Clinton the election? I don't understand. I don't understand. This is flailing. It's inept flailing, an inability to engage with the ideas, the arms wave, or the wacky inflatable tube man you see outside of car dealerships. What is this? Now, you know, not only does voting blue not break corporate duopoly, it also leads to red winning. Now, come on.
People followed Vosh's advice again in the last election cycle. Joe Biden did win that election, but guess who's back? Donald Trump.
Wow, it's almost like it doesn't end the problem, it just buys us time. And the one time in recent years that we failed to successfully build a bulwark against fascism, we immediately had significant losses both culturally and judicially. Okay.
So apparently voting blue does not actually banish fascism.
No, it doesn't.
Apparently fascism is just going to come back every single election cycle for as long as we continue to tolerate this bullshit duopoly where we're given two fake choices and told to vote for the lesser of two evil every single time in order to push back fascism. Oh, it just gotta.
This is one of the things that makes me know for a fact that I'm right. It's when the opposition can't actually engage with your arguments. If you make arguments and they're not responded to directly, like they have to keep like, oh well, Vosh is saying this will fix everything. When have I said that? Come on. When have I said that? You know I don't say this. This would be as bad faith as me saying, oh, you think that voting for Cornel West is going to fix fascism. But notice how I'm not doing that. When I criticize them, I'm criticizing them directly on the idea of even engaging with third parties. Not I'm assigning to them the belief that it'll instantly fix fascism. Because I'm engaging with what they believe in good faith. I'm targeting their actual beliefs.
Push it back one more time, which is
yes, keep pushing it back. Yes, what do you mean? Yes, if the tide of fascism is bearing down on you, yes, you do keep pushing it back one more time, unto eternity, forever. Yes, you keep doing it every time. You're casting your vote once every 4 years. Okay, can we please stop pretending that you're like being signed up for an 18-hour shift at the coal mine for the rest of your life? Come on, seriously? Yes, that is what you do. They have to lose no matter what. No matter which one of us wins, they lose. That is the necessary outcome. The difference between a Bernie Sanders or a Cornel West presidency and a Biden presidency is infinitesimally small when compared to the difference between a presidency run by us and a presidency run by them. They need to lose. Oh yes, always. I'm sorry if it requires work. I'm sorry if it's not always superheroic and you don't always get to be the big special boy.
Obviously stupid given the fact that Democrats also represent fascism as well, just maybe a slightly more milquetoast variety.
No, they don't. That's not what fascism means. They
Good
represent
shit, Krieger.
neoliberalism, which is an ideology associated with liberalism, which is the precursor to fascism. In many cases, it's not itself fascism.
But yeah, continuing to engage in the duopoly and refusing to protest the duopoly is not going to get rid of fascism. That's been made.
No, but it holds it back if you vote for the right side.
It's evidently clear. And this Trump is the lesser of two evils. That's ridiculous. So yeah, I do live in a safe state, and I would actually take it further than you, Kyle. You said if someone lives in a safe state, then you think it's totally fine to vote for a third party or green party.
I will never get over how ridiculous I look when I'm brushing my beard. I really need to get over fidgeting with my beard because I don't mind doing it while streaming because I don't give a shit. But looking at it in retrospect,
Oh, it goes through enemies.
beard
Nice.
brush like that looks so silly.
I like that.
You know? So it's stimming. It's
really
not
useful.
stimming because I do stim and it's not this. It's actually that I have a really, really, really irritating pattern of beard growth, where most of my beard growth is in a consistent direction, but right here, it's
Tightening
always
my
right
guard
here. There's one
and my
specific
butthole.
spot where my beard hair growth direction turns, and I always feel like the hair there is bristling.
Yeah.
against, like,
Same
my
old
skin
mission.
in
Final
a
mission,
long
no
way,
different.
Which is
Same
why
thing
I
twice.
fluff
Let's
it,
go.
and then I like mess my beard, and then I'm like, oh, now my beard's out of order, so I like brush my beard. But as for stimming, I literally have a fidget cube right here. You just never see it. So it's you know, so not a meaningful difference, but a difference I'll reaffirm anyway. Don't you have hand warmers? I mean gloves? One of the side effects of taking Adderall is that it can reduce blood circulation to your hands, which can make your hands very cold. But it's been years now, and I've mostly gotten over it. So my hands don't feel that cold relative to the rest of my body. But they do feel kind of cold right now. I'll turn the AC off. Why do you take Adderall? Because I have ADHD.
And I would actually go further than that. I would say if you live in a solidly red or solidly blue state, and there's a Green Party candidate as good as Cornel West on the ballot, then you almost have no excuse not to vote for that candidate, right? Because if you're living in Missouri or California on the flip side of that, then your vote is meaningless, honestly. And let's be honest about the president.
It's not. What if you believe that? Okay, if Republicans believe this, then Florida would have never become a red.
That's completely ridiculous because Florida was never a solidly blue state. Florida was a swing state. Now it is a solidly red state. But it was a swing state, not a solidly blue state, which is what I'm saying is...
Okay, so if all of the Republicans in Florida now started going, oh, well, we're going to vote for third-party candidates now, it would go back to being a swing state, right? It's a good thing Republicans don't really do that. Well, the Libertarian Party still does get a decent number of votes, but they're kind of getting
we just fought here.
Republicans
Nice.
Because the Mises caucus. Yeah.
The kind of state that's safe to vote for Cornel West in if you don't want to have to worry about potentially splitting the election.
Then
like
how do you get it back to being a swing state? Florida went to Obama twice. Yeah, guys, look here. 2008 Obama election map. Remember the world we once lived in? Look at that sweep. Woo! Look at that Florida. Look at those 27 electoral votes. Oh. How do you if you want to bring back Florida, you can't just give up. Imagine if all the Republicans, because of 2008, they were like, oh, no point in voting for Mitt Romney and then Trump again in Florida because it went to blue. So like, that's ridiculous. Just vote for the candidate who's actually going to win. You know, your time to banty about is in the primary process. That's what it's for. Why wouldn't Cornel West run as Democrat? Why? Well, he has bad political instincts, as evidenced by the People's Party fiasco. So, are we getting a shot in at the Vanguard? No, they ended the stream. Okay, so no, sorry guys, no live engagement. Can't interrupt the discussion with Mary.
Florida was never one of those states in the first place. It was traditionally a swing state, basically for my entire life, up until the Trump era.
Well, he would argue that Missouri is also technically a swing state, is I think what he's getting at. So, like, he would say that it
Fucking
only recently
birds,
became
fuck
firmly
you.
red in Missouri also. But I just think...
If this had been 10 years ago, then I wouldn't be saying that I lived in a solidly safe state. I would be saying that I lived in a swing state.
So if the status of a state can change,
Damn, our dino
wouldn't
friend was
that
going pretty
indicate
long.
that you should? Okay, I've made my point here, but I don't know how they're not getting this. I don't understand. Like it's like a self-evident conclusion that you would have to arrive at, which is that if you give up the case the moment a state is safe in either direction, you cede it. The blue states will become swing states, and swing states will become red states, and then you'll no longer fight once the red states because might as well fight like.
Just like if I
Damn, my
lived in
ass
Florida
looks mad
5
good.
years
I just
ago,
noticed I got
would
a
be saying that it was
thong.
a swing state too, not a safe state. I'm
Alien
talking about states
thong.
like
Or skull
California.
thong.
California is going to go blue, 100%. Or Alabama. Like if you live in Alabama, it doesn't matter who you vote for. It definitely is not going to go for Biden.
But if all the Democrats and all the Republicans in California and Alabama respectively voted third party, they wouldn't be safe states anymore.
So you might as well vote.
Ronald Reagan won California.
All right, if the candidate was literally the governor of that state, then maybe that changes the calculus. But I think everyone knows what I'm saying. I'm not talking about states like Florida. So that should be obvious to Vosh. I think he's intentionally strawmanning my argument here. I'm talking about states that you know which way they're going to go.
No, I am talking about that, and I'm not strawman. I'm addressing that.
I'm talking about safe states. And by the way, as far as swing states are concerned, do what the hell you want. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm not voter shaming you.
I am. I am. It is a political. This anti-voter shaming shit is actual brain poison. Why would you not? If you have political prescriptions, if you think it's bad,
Where the
for
fuck?
some political outcomes
Oh,
to
God.
happen, you should voter shame people. Why wouldn't you? What is this voter shaming thing? Oh, you're politics shaming me. That's when you shame someone for their politics.
God
yes?
damn it, leave me alone.
Happily? For fun and for profit, bitch. What do you mean? Obvious. Yes. What?
Regardless of what decision you make, as I said, if you decide to pull the lever for Joe Biden because you think he's a better president than Donald
Got
Trump
him.
would be, then I
Jesus
sympathize with that.
Christ.
That's what Zach decided to do last time around.
Where's the
and
birds
kudos to you
at?
giving Zach shit for that. I think that was a
Dude,
reasonable
why not?
decision.
Do it. Tear each other apart. I don't care. Do it. Why not? Fight me. Fight me. Wait. What do you mean? Why would you not? You're making political prescriptions. We're making
Shit.
arguments for things that have the highest consequential outcome. We're talking about who gets to run the most powerful country on earth. Why are these decisions not ones we should make moral prescriptions for or on? If you can't shame someone for their relative decisions within the Democratic primary or the third party, then how can we shame somebody for voting red? If we can't shame somebody for voting for fascists, then why shame fascism? What is the difference between people who will vote in fascism through the legislative means they're given, or the electoral means they're given, and just fascism? Like, what's
God damn it! What one little fucking dino blocking the goddamn.
And I'm glad that Biden
Shit.
is president instead of Trump. So if you do live in a swing state, if you do live in Pennsylvania or Georgia, then vote your conscience, man. I'm not telling you.
Don't vote your conscience.
Where's that one bird? We gotta kill one bird.
Don't vote your. I don't care what
Got
your
him.
conscience says. You average voter in Pennsylvania.
Shit.
You're a
I should
I
get
know
extra
more about
points for
politics
that.
than you. Do what I say. What do you mean? What is this? What, vote your conscience? What, so like a racist? Shit like, oh, well, my conscience is I don't want my white daughter dating no black. Oh, well, I'm going to the voter. Yeah, you want that guy's conscience? Make an argument. Why are we so allergic to this? Why? You would have no moral problem shaming a person for going to a rally and beating up some queers, but you'll tell that man to vote his conscience at the voting booth? Why? I don't want him voting his conscience. I want him voting my conscience. That's how morals work. You make prescriptions based on your values. I don't get this. It's this sensitivity to quote unquote voter shaming, which stemmed from the 2016 election and onward, where a bunch of lefties got really upset at mainstream media blaming them for Hillary's loss because they voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary. And mainstream media was wrong to do that. But the problem there wasn't mainstream media voter shaming. It was that they were voting shaming incorrectly. They were wrong. But not the process was fine. That worked.
You to vote for Cornel West, but I'm also not telling you not to vote for Cornel West. I think you can make your decision. What I am saying is to people who live in states like California, which is definitely going to go blue, or states like Alabama, which are definitely going to go red, and I'm telling you that your vote is meaningless, thanks to the fact that we live in a system where
it will be if you vote for Cornel West.
The popular vote is not what decides the election, and it's an electoral college. So
wait, that doesn't mean your vote is meaningless. It just means that there's a disproportionate skewing of voting outcomes based on the proportional electoral allotment to a state. That doesn't mean it's worthless. That just means that there's an additional level of abstraction on top of it. I mean, obviously you could have faithless electors, but for the most part, it doesn't go that way.
If you're a Republican in California, your vote is absolutely meaningless, and if you're a Democrat in Alabama, then
Reagan won California. It wasn't meaningless. They won.
Your vote is absolutely meaningless. Might as well vote for a third party.
I will just add the caveat that I don't personally believe that Howie Hawkins was the kind of candidate.
Yeah, even in Alabama. First of all, in California, there are Republican
Schwarzenegger.
governors in like local areas. They had a Republican governor in Schwarzenegger, and in Alabama,
say
what
hello
happened
to your
Roy Moore?
Schwarzenegger.
As much as Alabama wanted
I'm living
to
right
vote
next
in
door.
Roy Moore, pedophile, on account of that special election. Oh, who was the person? Why am I forgetting? It was like 51-49 against Roy Moore. Doug Jones, that's it. 50% versus 48.3%. If you took these chucklefucks' advice and didn't vote because it's Alabama.
Ooh, a special combat arena.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I know these aren't presidential elections.
Take
but,
me
like,
away, Daddy.
You can't not participate.
candidate that a guy like
Hippie
Cornel West
wizard,
is,
give it up.
this time around.
Come on,
so
bro.
If Cornel West had run against Joe Biden in 2020
Fine.
as the Green Party candidate, I might not have voted for him.
I'll be nervous.
Because I, now I'm getting the chat. No, it's okay. I get you. I get you guys. That's okay. It's because I'm paid by Big Pharma.
Safe state, then you think it's totally fine to vote for a third party or Green Party candidate. I would actually go further than that. I would say if you live in solidly red or solidly blue state and there's a Green Party candidate as good as Cornel West on the ballot, then you almost have no excuse not to vote for that candidate, right? Because if you're living in Missouri or California on the flip side of that, then your vote is meaningless, honestly. And let's be honest about the president.
It's not. What if you believe that? Okay, if Republicans believe this, then Florida would have never become a red state. Like it's like defeatism politics here, you know. It sure is a damn shame that the right keeps getting all these big gains by ignoring the philosophy that we use, which gets us nothing ever. You know, let's just give up. No, how do you think you're going to build infrastructure for political activism on an electoral level in these states if you're doing so through like this skewed mishmash of third-party candidates? We need the DNC to be working well in Florida. We need the DNC to be working well in Missouri.
This guy's over here talking shit.
This is ridiculous. This is the last straw. This guy thinks that the DNC is gonna. What do you think the DNC is gonna do, Foster? They're just gonna open up chapters where you go to.
What do you think Cornel West is going to do?
Your Democratic Party meeting, everybody gets together, sings Kumbaya, and votes on what the initiatives are going to be. That's not how the thing works. You take a state like South Carolina, Vosh. You know what the DNC does when they decide that they have a candidate that they want? So what was that guy's name? Jamie Harrison, I believe was his name, right?
You know what the funny thing is? One of the worst elements of the DNC is the fact that they take these
Zephyr, you better not fucking
die. They
die.
write off red states and don't invest in candidates there. They listen to these guys. We're listening to two DNC front runners right now. We're listening to the men behind the operation. Because if you look at DNC operations in red states, you realize that they write off these areas the way Republicans don't. Look at Republican gains in New York for an example of this. And they'll go, well, there's no point here. But like, I'm arguing against that. You should, the Democrats should continue to invest in every state. Not just continue to pour money into California, New York, and a couple of swing states to appease their financiers. I'm arguing the other. But the DNC has listened to their advice. They've gone, well, it's a red state. Why even bother, right? But it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Republicans were smart enough to continue investing in areas where it didn't seem as though they had a very strong hold. And they invested heavily in swing states and continue to, as the DNC does, but they don't lessen that grasp. The moment they feel like it's hopeless, they keep trying. They're smarter. Yeah, the Democrats are limp-wristed. I'm arguing for action here.
They spent, I think it was the most expensive Senate race ever. Well, I can't, Senate race cost. I don't even want to be wrong. It was millions and millions of dollars, for sure. 130 million. Yeah, he spent $118 per vote in that race. Jamie Harrison spent more than $130 million in losing to Republican incumbent Lindsey Graham. That's what the DNC is going to do, pal, because they're not going to put up somebody inspiring. What do you think the DNC is going to open up shop and be like, you know what? I think that a candidate with the inspiring politics of Bernie Sanders could really raise the ruckus in a deep red state like this.
I wonder if there's any relationship between the DNC not promoting progressive candidates and progressives not working within the DNC. Nazis work within the RNC, and for some reason they keep getting Nazi candidates that get institutional support, like popping up all over the country. And wow, who could have thought the Democrats keep just promoting neoliberal candidates when only neoliberals participate in their systems?
Missouri, let's give $100 million to Lucas Kunz, who wouldn't even be my first choice, but he would be way to the left of what the Democrats are going to get involved with, even if he is taking a little bit of corporate money, even if he's just on a slightly to the left of Sherrod Brown kind of a politics. They would never do that. They would never do that, right? Why? Because that's not like they're interested in wetting the palms of the individuals that buy the ads up, so that it's just a racketeering basically.
No, it's not racketeering. It's party culture. Okay, the DNC does not operate at peak efficiency for its own benefit. It's guided by the ideology and interests of the people who work there. And as I've said before, radical extremist far-right people have successfully infiltrated the GOP and have worked to promote their interests within the organization. We saw it with the Tea Party candidates. We've seen it with the MAGA and QAnon candidates. they have effectively infiltrated and used the framework of the GOP to their own benefit, oftentimes to the detriment of GOP donors. Peter Thiel has said he's not going to donate to Republican candidates anymore because he doesn't like the MAGA crowd. The QAnon stuff spooked off a lot of investors. But you know what?
Bitch,
They
you
kept
think
doing it
you're
anyway.
better than me?
Because it turns out that as much as the GOP loves money, that's not like a uniform 100% guaranteed a determining factor in what they're going to end up doing. There's a lot that goes into it. Likewise with the Democratic Party, during the Clinton years, the Democratic Party was 100% neoliberal down to a man. And now there are plenty of local and even some national candidates who I would fairly consider progressives, even if they're not socialist like me or whatever, right? Like, they're not perfect, but they're definitely a lot better. If you want to change how the DNC behaves, do to it what the Republicans did to the GOP. Work harder to infiltrate, to spread your ideology, and to promote it and disseminate it. Get the DNC to invest more heavily in red states and to promote candidates that actually excite local interest rather than just promote complacency. This can be done. You achieve nothing with Cornel West. Nothing. Zilch, nada. You are as delusional in your belief that that will be a successful avenue of approach as the far-right people who believe that creating like the American Nazi Party and running third party would be like, oh, this is how we're going to get it done, you know? And by the way, the reason I keep comparing us to our far-right extremist opposition is because from the perspective of the median voter, extremism tends to be extremism. And the tactics for making extremism palatable to the voter, even if in our case extremism means you don't go bankrupt from, you know, getting a boo-boo in a car accident, and their form of extremism involves genocide, fundamentally we're talking about political change and the widening of the Overton window, okay? And it will not work. Every effort to shift things rightward through some kind of extremist third-party Nazi nonsense has failed, whereas their infiltration of the GOP has succeeded. So I think that we should be a little bit smarter, we should think a little bit more strategically, and we should try to shape the politics of this country in a way that will actually benefit the working man. Unlike voting for Cornel West, limp dick virtue signal voting that makes you feel like you're a lone warrior against the duopoly, when in reality you're doing nothing. You're participating in the same system of cope that has existed for hundreds of years. The losers party, the kids table at the adults affair where you get to go and say, I voted for a real candidate, to a bunch of other people who get to say, I voted for a real candidate, and you all died having accomplished nothing, okay? This isn't defeatism, it's realism, it's an understanding of how politics functions, and I don't think there's anything wrong or morally incorrect about acknowledging that and working with that. And this isn't an impugning of either of your intelligences. It's not. Sincerely, I just think your perspective on what is and isn't good politics has been shaped heavily by a internet poisoned and politically ineffective narrative. It's conditioning. It's socially determined. I just don't want to be the smuggest person in the concentration camp. You know, I just don't want to feel like I was the most principled person in the gas chamber. I don't care. I don't want to be the most principled guy in the concentration camp, okay? I want to be the most politically effective guy in a working class society. I want to live in a proletarian state where I get to reflect on decades of decisions I've had to make, not all of which I felt great about, but all of which I believed in, which led us to this point. That's how politics works.
Kramer.
Nobody got shit done by being a
fucking
hardline
sniper
naive
healing bullets.
idealist who refuses to participate. Even leftist revolutionaries like
Get
Lenin
in there,
and
Barrage.
Mao made what I would consider to be severe ideological concessions, even prior to taking power in government, concerning the operation of their militia, the people they were willing to work with, the targets they took. There's no clean path. There's no clean path. I feel like after all that rambling I just did, there's no possible thing that I could say add on to it in watching the remainder of this video, but I'll watch a little bit more of it.
Like, they knew they were not going to win Lindsey Graham's seat
Yeah, Nimbus
in
is like
South
the
Carolina.
best.
They did
Holy
that for press.
shit.
They did that to have like a faux like resistance so that they could fundraise off of it. All kinds of shit like that. So this is what happens if you take Fosh's advice. If you the DNC is just gonna open up shop and they're gonna really uplift the people of Missouri, and then all those Mark Twain reading Ozarks women hillbillies, they're gonna get right up and lifted and vote for Joe Biden, eh? No, that's not how it's gonna work, Fosh.
100%, right. And, you say that jokingly about the Democratic Party opening up chapters in a state like Missouri, but the fact of the matter is, it's not third-party voters. You can't...
I don't know.
can't blame third-party voters for the failures of the Democratic Party in states like Missouri.
I can blame everyone who doesn't vote for the candidate that I want them to vote for not wanting to vote for the candidate I want them to vote for. And I will. I will go door to door.
Zephyr, get your
I will
fucking ass
find
over here.
Appalachian coal miner who has been failed by the government for 63 years, and I will look them in the face and tell them, you vote for Joe Biden, you piece of shit. I will find every single impoverished black family in Mississippi, and I will go door to door, and I will tell them, for your benefit, vote blue. I don't care.
In states like Kentucky, which recently did vote blue, to blame third-party voters for the fact that Republicans have taken over in states like Missouri is asinine, completely ludicrous. The fact of the matter is the Democratic Party has abandoned states like Missouri. It has abandoned states like Missouri.
Interesting. They've abandoned red states. I wonder whose advice they were taking.
Written states like Missouri and Kentucky off as, you know, unwinnable states full of a bunch of redneck hillbillies who are never going to elect a Democrat, which obviously is not true. If you go back not that far, states like West Virginia, states like Missouri, and
whoa, red states, if you go back not that far, weren't red states, and there might be some value in convincing people in these states to vote. The votes do matter there?
You know, Kentucky actually did go blue quite a bit when the Democrats were more of like an economically populist, labor-oriented party. It's only more recently, since the Democrats have kind of become a more like party of coastal elites, that those states have turned.
Wait, hold on. What is this narrative? The Republican Party represents wealthy people more than the Democratic Party. Wait, don't buy into the Republican narrative. Democrats have never been like proletarian. They've been more worker-oriented than Republicans for the past 80 years or so on average, but not entirely. And the overall like disinvestment in unions and labor rights has been a shift across both parties. What you're talking about is a shift in propaganda, not a shift in reality.
Red. So again, to blame third-party candidates and voters for states like Missouri turning red is completely asinine. It's very reminiscent of TYT blaming trans activists for Democratic politicians losing their elections to Republicans. It's like, no,
What? How is blaming trans activists for losing elections
good
the
shit
same as blaming people who not voted for you for not voting for?
Third parties have no power. Third-party voters have no power. They make up an infinitesimal fraction of the voting electorate. If you want to blame any voters, blame the ones that stay home. Blame the like 50% of the country that doesn't even bother to get out of the bed and go vote.
I will.
Why are you blaming people that did? Why are you blaming the people that did
there's the
decide to go to
PvP.
polls and cast their vote? Those are the people that actually are participating in our democracy. What about the people that stay home? Not that they should be blamed, obviously. People have good reason to have apathy towards electoralism. But if you're going to blame it,
they're wrong. Their apathy is incorrect. There is a meaningful difference in the quality of their lives between a Republican and Democrat victory. They're wrong. They're wrong. And I'll blame them for it. Yeah.
The percentage of non-voters far outweighs the percentage of third-party voters. So maybe
Sure,
maybe
I'll get both. Yeah. Flip from red into like a Cornell
Damn,
West
we still
green
need
party.
energy for
Okay?
hours.
You're going to
Shit.
get. You need to build the infrastructure. Like the right does this.
5%, Bosch. 5%. 5% nationally. A whole pie.
0.25% last election.
One vote in Missouri.
Also, I don't care. Even if you got 5%, what would that do? Nothing.
Even though, yeah, of course, it's not going to go to the Green Party, idiot. It's still your vote still counts to giving them national funding, which I think is a reasonable and respectable goal. And even if Bosch doesn't share it, even if he's like, you know what, I am going to vote for Joe Biden, I'm not going to vote for Cornel West because of his association with the People's Party or whatever reason Bosch decides to give because he's not going to give enough money to Ukraine or whatever.
I would never vote for a third-party candidate. I would never. Absolutely not. Under this system, it is a duopoly. If the system changes, I'll vote for another candidate. But under this system, it's a duopoly. That's how it is. They're mathematically an L in this system.
Like at least our vote will have a purpose, and his purpose will be.
See, that's it. That's the narrative they care about. The purpose, you know. My vote may do nothing, but at least it's the revolutionaries' vote. Yeah, it's the Coke table. It's the babies' table. You get to sit in the baby seat with the babies. You know, we may not be at the grown-ups' table where they're actually doing politics, but at least we made the narratively satisfying choice.
Get Joe Biden back in office to do golf for another 4 more years and probably die and leave us Kamala Harris to inherit? No thanks.
He's not been doing golf, but yes, that's preferable to fascism. When
No,
the
I
right
should have
wants to
stayed
build
on
power
that
in a state,
side.
They don't just
Fuck.
fling a bunch of shit into it. They build advocacy within that state. Like, look what happened to Florida. And if they want the Republicans to be more or less radical in any given issue, they participate within the system that gets them power. They don't just like sit there waiting. Well, you just said voting Green parties is useless. How would this be different from voting in a safe state? What do you mean? There need to be as many people as possible voting for a repudiation of fascism. It's not enough that fascists lose.
Voting for Cornel West is the definitive repudiation of fascism. Voting for...
Oh, dude, they're doing the meme. I said I'm not going to strawman them and pretend they believe voting for Cornel West is defeating fascism. And then he's like, well, actually, voting for Cornel West is defeating fascism.
Joe Biden is a signature. It's a cosign on fascism.
That's true. Yes, it's true. When you vote for Joe Biden, the only candidate who can beat Trump in this election, you're actually voting for fascism. Whereas if you vote for a candidate who will do nothing, you're actually right. Yes, of course. They have to be defeated.
Presidential election, unless you live in like one of 6 or 7 states, the vote you cast for president is one of the most meaningless things you're ever going to do. And because of the Electoral College, it doesn't matter.
Notice how Republicans never say this. Ever. Even Nazis, even super far-right people who know that the Republican Party doesn't represent the fullest extent of their interests, they never say this because it's stupid, because it doesn't work. It's anti-politics. They never say it. They don't.
Honestly, unless you live in Georgia, right, at this point. So I think that's something that needs to be said, and I wish that more people would understand how meaningless their vote for president is, because if more people employed my logic, well, if I live in a state that's definitely going to go red or definitely going to go blue, so therefore I might...
The DNC applies your logic, and it fails us in these states.
Well, just vote for the Green Party. I think if more people realize that, then the Green Party by now would have reached that 5% threshold.
If more people applied that logic, then those states wouldn't be safe blue. Then the red would have won. It's not a parliamentary system. The Greens and the Dems don't form like a coalition percentage on who wins in it.
Idiot. I'm mostly talking about people that don't vote because of the fact that they're in solidly red or solidly blue states. You know.
Okay. If you have a person who would vote blue in a solidly blue state, but then they don't, and if enough people do that, it's not a solidly blue state anymore. And if you are in a red state, where if all the Democrats or all the left-leaning people rose up and voted blue, they could actually get a swing state going again, and they don't, then it will always be a red state. So the system ensures red states stay red, blue states don't necessarily stay blue. It's not good.
As a country, we love to shame people for not participating in democracy, but can you really shame someone for not participating in democracy when they already know which way their given state is going to vote? Like I did.
Yes. Yeah. Happily. Yeah. For fun. To anyone. I will learn sign language so I can explain to the deaf that they're being rejected for not voting, even if they're in a safe blue or red state. I don't care.
Like I said, if you live in California and you're a Republican, then when it comes to the presidential election, it literally doesn't matter.
They won in Reagan.
Same thing if you're a Democrat living in Alabama or something. Like, it simply doesn't matter. So my point is that if more people, if more non-voters who are so, depressed and apathetic about electoralism for good reason, that they just stay home because, again, it doesn't really matter who they cast their vote for. If more of those people realize that, hey, actually, there is a way to vote.
Let's fucking go.
And even though, it's not going to make Cornel West president, at least I can be contributing to a larger, bigger project, something that perhaps within my lifetime.
Yeah, well, at least, it may not do anything or achieve any goal, but at least I feel, it's feeling politics. Oh my God. It's incredible the cognitive dissonance necessary to impugn voting in a safe blue or red state because it's meaningless, but then to argue for voting for a third party even though they know he won't become president because it's meaningful because question mark
can actually become a serious political force. That actually gets people to come out to the polls. And guess what? If you're inspiring a bunch of super far left Cornel West voters to come out to the polls, guess what? Chances are those people aren't just going to be voting for president. They're going to be voting down ballot. And that means they're going to be voting for other lefty candidates down ballot. People that are running for state senate, people that are, maybe running for like city council, whatever other elections are going on, ballot initiatives, a lot of
Democrats? Because I don't give a shit if they're voting for the Green Party city commissioner.
States are having like abortion ballot initiatives, stuff like that. So to get a bunch of left-leaning, progressive-minded people that support a socialist platform, to get those people to the voting booths on election day is great. That's a great thing. Even if they're not going to vote for Joe Biden.
They just make them vote for Joe Biden too. They're already there. Might as well get them to make the correct decision. Voter turnout isn't much lower in safe red, safe blue states. Oregon has the same turnout as Minnesota.
All right, Savage Gauntlet.
It's just,
can I see Savage Gauntlet stats or results? Nope, nothing like that, of course.
Huh. How odd.
All right, I'm done.
Actually, this is very interesting. I'd have to think about this for. Yeah, it's virtue signal politics. It's not. We're almost done with the video.
Chances are they're going to vote for a bunch of other